What's up, everybody? Welcome to Human Innovation Tarot. My name is Eddie with Imagine Life Development Center, here to do the September reading for my Leos out there. If you're new to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it if you click the like, share, and subscribe button for me. All the other information you need to know is in the description box below. I'm also running a September special. I may extend it beyond September. We'll see. You can do one question for 10, two for 20, or 3 for 30. That information will be in the description box as well. Okay, Leo, we are going to go ahead and jump into your reading here and see what's coming up for you guys in love and romance. This will be good for probably the next 30 days. So, yeah, we're just going to jump in and see what comes out for you guys here. Going to do things a little bit different here. We're going to start here by looking at the overall energy, and then we will jump into the main reading, okay? So I'm just going to get one card here. Oh. All right, so the first card out for my Leos, you have the second chakra, if I can speak here. So the second chakra is all about, let me grab my little card here. It's the sacral chakra. It's all about your feelings here. The second one there. So this has a lot to do with basically essentially your gut, right? Because that's where our intuition comes from. It's like when you have a gut feeling about something, right? So this could be in relation to having to trust your gut, trust your intuition when it comes to love, or maybe you have a gut feeling about something or someone. I mean, obviously this is a love reading, so probably someone. This could also have to do with either having to work on your second chakra to clear that energy, or you may have if your second chakra is open, it could be contributing to feelings that you have, okay? But we're gonna continue forward, and we'll see, because I have a feeling that this is going to tie to the other cards, the other energies that we pull here. So I'm just using a few different decks here for the overall energy of your read. So we're gonna kind of look at it almost like these first three cards, at least, as somewhat of a storyline. Okay, so the next card we have here is Time to Go. So this tells me that you could be in a relationship, or you've been in a relationship, or this could be a lesson. Okay, so it could be a few different things. So if you're in a relationship, then with the second chakra card energy here and the Time to Go energy here, this would be telling you essentially that you need to trust your gut, you need to trust your intuition, and understanding that you may be in a relationship with someone that's not working for you, and for whatever reason, maybe you're sticking around, maybe you're staying in it, and you outlived it, you've outgrown it, or it's just not in alignment with who you are vibrationally here, okay? The Time to Go energy is just what it means. It's basically saying, hey, this relationship you're in is no longer serving you. You've learned the lessons that you need to learn. There's nothing left to learn here. There's nothing left for you to accomplish in this relationship. It's basically it's outlived its purpose, essentially, here. Now, if this doesn't have to do with a current relationship that you're in, then this could basically mean that this is related to lessons of your past relationship. Have you learned your lessons in past relationships? Have you repeated certain cycles, relationship patterns and cycles, where maybe you would keep attracting the same types of people, and essentially Spirit is wanting to tell you, like, what you need to start trusting your intuition. You need to start trusting your gut. You meet somebody, it's kind of like that don't ignore the red flags energy, right? You know, take time to evaluate your past relationships and notice any patterns And sometimes that's difficult because that means that we have to be brutally honest with ourselves. We have to be vulnerable. We have to tell ourselves the truth. And I think for those that are really willing to do that and not, not beat themselves up or, come down on ourselves hard, because sometimes it's not necessarily the best feeling to have to do that self-evaluation and then realize, oh, wait, I'm the one that's responsible for attracting these people into my life. And as a relationship expert and a relationship coach, people get upset with me all the time because I will tell them, you don't attract you don't attract who you want or what you want, you attract who you are. And people will get upset with me and they'll say, but I'm nothing like that person because I would never do A, B, C, X, Y, Z to somebody else. And I'll say, well, let's pause there, because what you're talking about is behavior. You're talking about the symptom. I'm not talking about the symptom. I'm not saying that you're attracting somebody that will treat you the same way that you treat them. That's the behavior. That's the symptom. I'm saying that underneath the behavior, in other words, the cause for their behavior, the cause for the reason and the way that they treat you is deeper than that. It's the energy. It's a fear energy, right? Or a scarcity energy or a trauma response, whatever you want to call it. And that's what's causing the behavior that you don't like. Okay. So we have to understand this, that again, these two cards here have everything to do with learning a lesson and not repeating patterns here. Okay. So trusting your gut, that if you meet somebody, you attract someone into your life and you recognize that it seems like they're the same type of person. And I'm not saying to be impulsive and just, okay, the minute that someone, hurts your feelings, or the minute that you see even like a yellow flag, you hit the eject button and you jump ship. Okay. We don't want to be extreme, but as you get to know somebody and you're qualifying them, if you start to notice inconsistencies or other types of patterns that you've seen before in your gut, your intuition and your gut's telling you something's off, don't ignore that. That's really what this is about here. Okay. So again, one of two things so far: you're either in a relationship and Spirit's saying you need to go, you're not trusting your intuition, or this is saying that you need to learn from past relationships where you weren't trusting your intuition and you needed to walk away because it wasn't right for you. Okay. So let's take a look and see what the third energy here is for you, my Leos, for love and romance for September. Okay, we have birth mysteries. What are you being called to create? Very interesting. So I feel like this energy it's piggybacking off the time to go energy here, which is essentially saying, like, if you don't, like, in order for something that you desire to come in, you have to let go of what, you have to make space, is what I'm trying to say. You have to make space for something new. You can't keep holding on to something and then have space for something new that you want, right? Like, if I'm holding this pen, I can't hold anything else because my hand is closed, my fist is closed. But if I open up and I let this pen fall out of my hand, now there's room for something else, right? And so I believe what Spirit is trying to say here is, as you begin to trust yourself and you let go of, you leave the things behind that are not aligned with you or no longer serving you, it's going to make space for you to basically attract and give birth to something, metaphorically speaking, that is desirable for you. Okay, it's really having to do with you manifesting, you calling in something and realizing that it was you all along. It was you all along that had the power and ability to birth this thing, to create and manifest this love that you really have wanted. Okay, so let's get some more energies here. tell me about Leo and love, please. Okay, we have mature man. Now, this next line of energy here, this could be somebody that you're dating, like a present person that you're dating. This could be a past person, or this could be someone new that's coming towards you, okay? And you're going to have to, again, you're going to have to use that second chakra energy, trusting your gut to decide what, if this resonates for you or not, all right? And understand that roles can be reversed, all that good stuff. So take what resonates, leave the rest. Roles can be reversed. Here's the mature man energy. Let me get 2 more. We have the official person. So this person, the mature man, is somebody who's obviously probably older. And if, that could be, depending on your age, that can mean a lot of different things, right? I mean, if you're 20, then somebody 25 could be older. But I feel like this is more than the age part of it. Again, they could be older than you, or you could be the older person if the role was reversed. But more importantly than the age, the mature man is more like this person is mature in their energy. Like they're smart, they're intelligent, they're wise. They probably have their ish together in life. They could have their life in order, basically. Like they take care of their finances, take care of their body. Like they may not be like a gym rat, but they're responsible mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Like, this is somebody that when you meet them, it's like, okay, this person really kind of has their life in order. They may, they could have their own house or their own car. They pay their bills on time. They got a solid job. They might make decent money, all the things, right? Now, the official person here, this could mean that this person, they work in the military. They could work in the justice system, the legal system. They could work for the government. Or they could be some type of boss or have some type of leadership title. Or if they own their own business, well, then they're the CEO. They're the business owner, right? So that official person energy could be several different things. All right. Or this could be a second person. This, it's possible that this could be a second energy. So this could be maybe you might have a past energy, and this could be a new energy. Or it could be 2 past energies, or it could be 2 new energies. We don't know yet. Again, you'll have to take it as it resonates. One more for Leo here. Yeah. So you have change now. The change energy. So this could be changing locations, changing jobs, changing any area of your life. But I really feel like this is like you going through a period of time of change here romantically. And if you're in a relationship with this time to go energy, it's saying that if you're with one of these people, like let's say these are 2 different people, then it's basically saying, yeah, you're being encouraged to let this relationship go, to move on from it, and stop staying in something that's no longer serving you, so that this new thing that's out there can be manifested in for you. Now, if you're single and you've been waiting a while and you've been working on yourself, or you work on letting go of these past energies, then it's very possible that you can meet this new energy, this mature man, official person. Again, it could be 1 energy, it could be 2. And at the bottom of the deck, we have high honor. So I'm getting like that this is giving me like definitely like a military or some type of, like whoever this person is, like, they're very well respected. They're very reputable. They're very well respected in their community or in their job, or if they're a judge or an officer like a police officer, or they work in the military, or they're a business owner, or a CEO, whatever it is, like they have, they're very respected in their business, in their job, in their role, whatever that is. People really, really have a lot of respect for this person, which is good, because that means that if and when you meet them, assuming that you aren't this person, then this is probably going to be a really, really good, solid, stable, relational pick for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the core of your reading here. And what we're going to look at is the past, the present, and then we're going to look at the future outcome here. We're going to look at the major hurdle, obstacle, and challenges that you've been facing, and basically the advice here about what to do, okay? So let's take a look at the past. Okay, we have synchronicities. So this is my new Human Innovation Oracle deck, which I will be selling at some point in the future. Just kind of beta testing it right now, but at some point in the future, it will be for sale. There's the back of it there. So synchronicity is basically telling me that in the past here, you've probably been seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities, maybe a lot of maybe dreams. I mean, synchronicities show up in all shapes and forms, right? Music, song, billboards, license plates, dreams. Standing in line at the grocery store and you're looking at the magazine and maybe the cover has a word or an image on it, right? There's so many different things that could be a synchronicity to you. Well, I feel like Spirit has been speaking to you quite clearly through whatever these signs and synchronicities are in the past here. Probably been telling you, what you need to let go of, and perhaps even telling you or showing or telling you in its cryptic kind of mysterious way what could be yours, what could be coming to you, okay? So let's take a look at your present energy here. And you need to pay attention because those past synchronicities are very important, okay? Never violate a hunch. If you feel like something is an important synchronicity, then it probably is. So, never take those things lightly. Be the present energy for my Leos. Okay, so now for the second time, we have basically trusting your intuition, trusting your gut. The sixth sense energy is basically like high priestess energy. So in the present moment, again, you're being encouraged to trust your gut, trust your intuition, or learn how to if you're not sure. Meditate, whatever your spiritual practice is, learning to bypass your ego, bypass trauma responses, bypass old patterns, whatever's happening, to get to a place within yourself where you're shutting down your ego, because the ego is all about self-preservation, and the ego will interrupt and interject itself into your thoughts. Makes it very hard and very confusing to really tap into what your heart or your gut is trying to tell you about something, right? So you're being encouraged to stay attuned to whatever your spiritual practice is here, and really learn to trust your intuition at right now about what's going on in your life, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. So let's look at the future potential outcome here for love. Okay, we have Ascension. I know it's a little bit hard to see on the card. That's why I'm saying I'm going to have to probably do some modifying to these cards before I sell them. But this is Ascension. This is you literally moving up to the next level spiritually. It's like people think that we go through one spiritual awakening. you know, but that's not true. We go through multiple spiritual awakenings. It's just that usually the first one is one of the more profound ones, because that's where we really realize we have been living in the matrix, you know. And so when we come out of that and we kind of, you know, become familiar with true spirituality, then life really starts to change for us. So a lot of us, we identify that very first spiritual awakening as the more profound one, but we're intended to keep going up to the next level. So wherever you are in your life right now, you're being taught, you're being pushed here. And all this ties to this new birthing energy here, because whatever you're doing here, whatever Spirit's asking you to learn in terms of trusting your intuition, it's not just about trusting your gut when it comes to relationships. That's part of it, because who wants to repeat bad past relationships, right? Nobody wants to keep repeating bad relationships. But more importantly, this is about you going to a higher spiritual level within yourself, because you're meant to do something. Maybe your relationship's meant to be more. Maybe you're meant to ascend because the person that's right for you is on a different level than you are on right now, or vice versa, right? But there's always a much higher purpose here when this ascension card comes in. And I do believe that in terms of love and relationship here, you're called to have a deeper spiritual relationship with somebody. Maybe your past relationships were, you know, superficial, or they were just kind of boring and mundane, or maybe they didn't really serve a purpose, you know. But wherever you're being led to in the near future, in the next 30 days, it has everything to do with going up to this next level here. So let's take a look at the major hurdle, obstacle, and challenge that you could be experiencing right now. Seasons. Okay. So the seasons card, and again, it may not, the wording may not show up very well here on camera. Gonna have to work on my fonts and my colors here, but the point is, the seasons card, the seasons energy showing up in the kind of challenge position, is just saying that you've been going through a challenging season. This could be for however long. It could be just this year, this month. It could be the last 5 years, could be the last 10 years. But you've been going through a challenging season, or it's felt like a challenging season for however long when it comes to love and relationships here. What is the advice energy here? And I feel like, you know, aside from what the other energies are on the table here, I could say additionally, before the advice card here, addition to whatever this advice energy is that I'm holding in my hand, you're meant, the advice is for you to in order for you to get out of this season. It's almost like a hangman energy, okay? And I haven't pulled the tarot yet, so I don't have a hangman card, but it's a lot like that. Like we get put into the hangman tree until we get a new perspective, until we become enlightened about our current about the current stage of life that we're at. Because that current stage of life, we may have to, you know, we have to learn to let go, right? It's a current stage of life where we have to let go of what's no longer serving us, maybe make certain sacrifices, or get a different perspective about where we are in life, so that once we do, we can go through this ascension, right? So the advice card is fulfillment. Now this is like a 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles type of energy. If I was going to compare it to a tarot card, and which is basically saying that the advice for you is to really get clear on what it is that you want, like what's really going to fulfill you, and not just taking what's immediately gratifying, not taking what's immediately available, and not going back to past things because they're familiar. Having the courage to take leaps of faith, to take a risk, to open your heart, to be vulnerable, even when it's scary, even when it's unknown, and even when you're afraid that, well, if you fall in love, you open your heart, you could be hurt. Because that's true. Because love is the most courageous thing any human being will ever do, because it requires us to be vulnerable. And vulnerability is not just being like a lot of people think being vulnerable just means like a willingness and openness to share anything that you with somebody, right? True vulnerability is the willful act of exposing yourself in such a way that someone could destroy you. That's what true vulnerability is. It's basically showing someone the kink in your armor and saying, hey, if you stab me here, there's no protection here. There's this one place in my armor, my suit of armor, that you could get through and you could kill me, right? That's what vulnerability is. Vulnerability is showing, putting yourself out there. It's like opening up your heart, no protection, and it's right there. It's raw. It's available, and somebody could carelessly and easily, destroy you. It's very painful. That's what love is. Love is the risk of literally opening yourself up to potentially the greatest possible reward, but also the greatest possible pain, right? And so you're being called to get courageous, but you're also being called to get clear on what it is that's actually going to fulfill you long term, and not settling for anything less here, okay? And at the bottom of the deck, we have transition, very similar to the Ascension card here, okay? It's interesting. One's light and one's kind of dark. But it's interesting is that this path is like leading up to the light. So it's almost like this card here on the bottom, a transition card, is the steps you're taking. And as you walk through the door, this portal, then it's like you're walking into this ascension, this whole new world here, okay? So you're going through a transition right now. You're transforming. This is like death card energy. Death and rebirth, okay? That you're going through a transition. This season that you've been in, this challenging season, you're leaving it. You're transitioning out of this season rather, and going through this ascension process here. And I believe that when you get through the other side, you're going to be surprised by the incredible things that await you there. Okay, so let's get a couple of final messages here. We get some final messages, some final advice here from my Leos to close out your reading. That card that just flew across the screen is the Star, Aquarius energy. So you could have Aquarius placements. You don't have to. It's not necessarily that important. You could be dealing with an Aquarius, or you could meet an Aquarius again. It doesn't have to mean that. Just can't. Okay. The Star. So this is all about transition, because the Star comes after the Tower, and the Tower is destruction, upheaval, things getting completely torn down, completely destroyed, down to rubble. Nothing's left. Well, what that allows is it allows for something to be rebuilt on top of that. Okay, and the Star is the hope. It's the inspiration for a bright new future. It's healing. It's a card of rejuvenation, right? And it's a card of not losing hope or losing faith because of the things that you've gone through, and knowing that there's a light at the end of the tunnel here. So this is you moving through that transition energy up through this ascension, knowing that things will get better and that you will get your wish when it comes to relationships and love. So it's confirming the spiritual transformation you're going through, but it's also confirming that if you do the work and you continue to go down, to ascend up through this spiritual transformation, then your wish awaits you. Okay, that's way too many. And your wish being, whatever you decide here, whatever you get clear on with this fulfillment energy. So the fulfillment card is tied to this Star energy, saying, hey, it's up to you. Make a wish. Make a wish. Blow out the candle, make a wish, cast your coin into the well, the wishing well. And as long as you level up and you become a vibrational match for the thing that you're wishing for, then it will be yours. And here's proof, the Page of Cups. This is that new love offer coming in, and you probably won't be expecting it, because the Page of Cups, the traditional Page of Cups energy, there's a little fish that, you know, leaping out of the cup, almost in a kind of a surprising way, right? And so someone's going to be coming into your life, something that you've been waiting for and wishing for, and it may show up unexpectedly. And then the last energy, we have the Three of Swords. And I believe that this is kind of has a little bit of a warning energy attached to it. The Three of Swords is obviously about being heartbroken. It's pain and heartache. And I feel like this could be, again, if you're in a current situation, current relationship, then this relationship is causing you a lot of pain, or this could be pain that's associated with past relationships. Okay. And so the star is healing this pain, right? So this is healing the pain of the present, healing the pains of the past, so you can clear that energy, so that as you go through the ascension, you'll be ready for the new thing that awaits you. Because if we don't heal the pain, then we're just going to attract more things that caused that same type of pain into our lives. That's why it's always important to clear the deck and heal before you go out on your rebound. Because usually those rebounds are just going to end up hurting us worse, right? And then the more hurt we get, the more jaded we become. So this is also a warning telling you to trust your intuition. Okay, because you may have one more test there. I'm not saying you will, but it's very possible that as you put yourself out there, you may be tested one more time. You may have someone come into your life and to test and make sure that you don't repeat the same mistake. You know, can you say no? Can you trust your gut and say, I know this person, like this, here's this new person. They're really attractive. They seem very fun. They seem like they're my type. But something inside of you is like, let's not do that. Let's not go there. You know, are you going to pay attention to that this time, or are you just going to override it and say, nah, it should be fine. I'm not worried about it. And you're just, and you go back to kind of an old pattern, right? So it's a little bit of a warning here. Trust your intuition here, that second chakra and that sixth sense energy. Trust it so that you don't get hurt again, right? And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant. Okay. So there's two energies attached to this. One is, as you go through this transition, this ascension, you're upgrading your belief system. You're upgrading your value system, which is good. That's a good thing. And it's also, again, saying that, because this is tied to the Page of Cup and the star and the fulfillment, that there is a higher level of commitment that will match you. It's there. And it's at the bottom of the deck because you don't see it coming yet, which is what I said with the Page of Cups. It might show up a little unexpectedly there for you. Okay. So let's get some final messages here for you before we close out the reading here. So I'm going to get 3 cards from this deck, and then I'll get 3 from one more after this. 3 messages for my Leos, please. Whoa. Okay, we have honor. And we saw that at the bottom of this deck, right? We had the honoring path, I think it was, or something. Honor your loved one, and you will notice your relationship becoming stronger. But I also feel, again, that this is tied to that person that back at the beginning of the reading, we had that energy there of an honoring person. So that's good. So you have someone coming towards you that is an honorable person here that you're going to attract. So we have emotions. Look deep within your emotions. So yeah, this is all tied to that second chakra. If your emotions are blocked because you become hurt and jaded because of these past relationships or because of this 3 of Swords pain, this card is saying you need to tap into that star energy. You got to feel to heal the trauma, As you ascend and as you go through the ascension and the transformation, make sure that you're doing your healing work, okay? Don't avoid strong emotions, because your emotions are there to help you release and heal, right? I like to give the example of, if you go to the store and you get like a 44 ounce, drink, and you drink it all, like you're just super thirsty, and like within 3 minutes you drink it. Well, and maybe 10 or 12 minutes from that time, you got to pee, right? Well, let's say that you're just really busy and you're like, well, I don't want to pee, right? Like, I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to hold it in. And like, nope, I'm for the rest of my life, I'm done peeing. It's an interruption. I hate being interrupted. I hate having to stop and go use the bathroom every time I drink something. I'm done peeing. Well, how long do you think that you're going to be able to hold 44 ounces of fluid before eventually your bladder is going to start killing you, right? And I don't know if you can hold your bladder so long that it actually bursts. I don't know if that's possible. But it's going to be really painful and uncomfortable. And I do feel like at some point it's going to get so painful that, you probably would just, if you sat there long enough, you probably just pee yourself, right? That's what happens with people with emotions. You hold it in and hold it in and hold it in and hold it in. I'm not going to pee. I'm not going to pee. I'm not going to pee. Well, what ends up happening is all that emotion that's holding up inside of you has to come out somehow, whether it's anger, depression. It usually comes out in some negative form because it's been inside of you. And that's where dis-ease comes from. Dis-ease. You're not at ease anymore, right? And there's different levels of that. But the longer you sit, it's the more that emotional infection grows, and the worse off you become. And this is why people become oftentimes the abuser of the very thing that abused them, right? So a lot of people who get abused by cheating, well, they never dealt with the pain of the person that cheated on them. So then eventually they become a cheater, right? And if you're abused by an alcoholic parent, well, what happens a lot of times to those children? They grow up and become alcoholic parents, right? Because they never dealt with the emotions. So they become the very thing that abused them. They become the thing that they didn't want to happen to them, but they just don't have the perception to realize that they've transformed into that, right? And that's where we get the idea of a generational curse from. It's because we never dealt with the thing and put a stop to it within ourselves and say, I'm not carrying that anymore. But you have to feel to heal. So this emotions card is very important here, okay? Give me one more card for Leo. Okay, you have power. And this is you guys. I mean, this is your card. It's the strength. It's like the sun card and the strength card in tarot. Leos are very powerful. The power of love is like a magnet drawing souls together. This is you and your power, Leo. Like when you get into your power, nothing's going to stop you. Nothing's going to stop you. Nothing's going to stop this love. And I do believe that you're going to attract a very powerful and profound relationship into your life with a very healthy person. And as you level up, you're going to become a strong, confident person that you're meant to be within your Leo energy, right? Okay, give me 3 more cards here to close the reading. And if you guys haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, share. I would greatly appreciate it. So yeah, you have a soulmate coming. There's confirmation. Yes, this is your soulmate. So this person that you're going to manifest, because you got clear with the fulfillment energy, they're coming. There's your promise that if you listen to spirit, you trust your gut, and you do the work, you have a soulmate coming here. Okay, free yourself. Yeah, this is you letting go. This is you walking away. With the card from the beginning of the reading. Before you can get this new soulmate, you've got to let go of things that no longer serve you. You got to walk away from things. It's the analogy I gave with the pen. If I'm holding something in my hand, I have to let go of it to make room for the new thing. So you've got to set yourself free from anything that you have energetic cords attached to, or anything that you're still in. You've got to be willing to walk away from it, have the courage to ascend to this new level, leave the old things that no longer serve you behind to get the thing that you really want. One more card for my Leos, please. Reconciliation. Okay, so this could be, and this says someone from your past is returning to your life. Now, this is one of two things. This soulmate, for some of you, is going to be a past person, and they're in a different place in their life, you're in a different place in your life, and now you're going to come together and things are going to work this time. Again, if you've done everything prior that I've already mentioned in the reading, obviously, okay? So don't forget all the other things that we've talked about up to this reading. This is a if you do this, you will get that. It's cause and effect, right? So this could be somebody from your past. For some of you, and it's a good thing, a person that you will want, like the person you're wishing for could be a past person that you guys are now aligned, and if you have a relationship this time, it'll work. For others of you, this is the warning. This is somebody's coming back from your past, and you're going to have to trust your gut so that you don't fall in that Three of Swords energy again. Okay, so it's going to be for probably half of you, this past person is somebody that you want to have a relationship with. For the other half of you, this is going to be somebody that you're going to want to avoid. It's going to be the trial. It's going to be that test. They're going to come back. They're going to be like, oh no, I've missed you so much. I love you. I've changed, blah, 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 blah. And if you fall for it, because you're going to know, because your gut spirit is going to be there, like screaming at you, going red flags, red flags, red flags, run, walk away. They haven't really changed. It's not going to, they're still not in alignment with you. And if you don't pay attention to that, and you go back to this past person, it's going to be Three of Swords. It's going to be pain all over again. Okay. So again, some of you, new person, green light. Some of you, past person, red light. Yeah. Red flag, right? Okay. So, and then at the bottom of this deck, we have calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Okay. So either way, again, if you do all you're doing work, this is like, I don't know, triple confirmation, quadruple confirmation at this point. You're going to call your soulmate in if you do the work. You're going through this transformation. You're coming out of this potentially coming out of this difficult season, as we discussed, and you're ascending. That's the most important part, is this ascension process. Because when you reach this new level you need to be at, then you will be in alignment to receive the person at that new level. Okay. Whether they're new, whether from their past, it doesn't matter. It's going to be your soulmate. Okay. So Leo, I hope this reading helped you guys. Again, if you haven't already, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. All the other information is in the description box below. You can reach out to me for personal private readings. And don't forget to hit the bell notification. You could come join me for a free live tarot reading sometime. Okay. So I appreciate you guys. And as always, my friends, love and light.